Well, good morning, everybody. 9 o'clock on the dot. I know people are logging in, but I'm going to get started this morning with everybody. Thanks for joining me on a overcast. I just heard some thunder booming here downtown Columbia. But that's bringing in a nice little cold front for Columbia. Excuse me, a summer cold front. Take that with a grain, right? But nice cooler weather, less humidity this weekend, so good stuff. We surely need the rain. I think we're way down for the year. So all right, well, let's hit a couple things. Well, first of all, Adam Vance, welcome back. Good to see you. Want to give a shout out. Really appreciate Coach Tanner hosted me last week. Enjoyed being with him, and they really are doing some really cool things at the university, and the business of college athletics is amazing. I just say that. I don't dive too deep there, but it is unbelievable the amount of money that's in college athletics. So, all right, we'll hit a couple of big things, and then I want to hear from y'all today because there's a lot going on in the economy, and I need to get a better gauge from y'all on what's happening. But first of all, National Middle Child Day today. Woohoo, Nick. Congratulations, Lynn. Y'all middle child, this is for y'all. I got 2 middle children, so maybe they get to celebrate both of them. Anyway, it is the 224th day of the year. We're wrapping up the 32nd week, and we are 61% through for this for 2022. It's flying by. So when we talked last Friday, we were waiting on the job announcements to come out. The job announcement came out, 528,000 new jobs. The government said they were looking at somewhere between 100 and 200,000 jobs. So we just crushed it, right? Which is great, except when they're trying to slow down the economy. And so it put further debate whether or not we're in a recession. Actually, most people say now, because of the job numbers, we're not in a recession, even though we've seen GDP drop to two quarters in a row. But all that to be said, it is absolutely amazing. When we added those many jobs, we are currently now at the pre-pandemic level of 3.5% nationally unemployment. Obviously lower here in South Carolina, but that's pretty strong statement there about the job market today. But let's dig a little bit deeper right now on some of the issues. The biggest issue I still see out there in the economy is gas prices, and gas prices have come down dramatically in South Carolina. I want to give a shout out. I paid $3.19 a gallon the other day, and I was like high-fiving people I never met before. I was so excited. But gas prices have lowered. They're still higher than they were 16 months ago. But interesting that the gas price per barrel is right around, well, the average price is $4. But if you think about it, we are still, production is pretty low. We're at 95% capacity in the amount of oil barrels produced per day, but that is after several refineries are offline. That we are producing less oil today than we have ever produced, and capacity in those refineries at 95%. So what are we seeing? I think we're going to stick around. These gas prices are going to be level out about right now, and we'll have to wait and see. It's pretty volatile. But the oil companies have amassed significant profits over the last year, especially the ones not in Russia and everywhere else that's producing, because they're seeing the benefits. But demand is off a little bit after the interest rates went up and all that stuff. Demand kind of softened, and in return, so that's why the gas prices have dropped. Couple things to note. This is a hectic time. August through September, there seems to be little things called hurricanes in the Gulf, and so the only thing that's going to keep that we have volatility in the market is if something happens with one of the refineries, or if we get a hurricane. So keep out for that. But the other thing is, under President Biden, he released 260 million barrels of oil out of the strategic oil reserves. With that was not a one-time dump into the market. That was over a period of time, and those barrels finish getting into the market sometime in October. So if we're going, I think gas is going to be pretty much level and through October, and then we'll have to see what happens from a geopolitical perspective to see what happens. But oil prices have been driving costs. That's why I bring it up, because everything is costing more. Inflation went down last month to 8.5%, down from 9.1%, which is good, but it's still significant in how we pay for goods and services. Food prices dropped an additional 20%. So at some point, all this impacts you, your buying power, how much you got to pay your employees, how your employees are paying for food and gas and everything else. Everything's costing more. And so I'm not sure what the answer is going to be, because the Feds don't meet again until September. So I do imagine another rate increase coming in September to further try to stem that inflationary impact that we're having. I get it. This is boring. It is boring to me when I read some of this stuff, but all that to be said is, for you that are in the retail business, or y'all that are in business world, have got to recognize costs are not going down anytime soon. And how you charge your customers and how they're charging you is going to impact pricing, as well as how relevant is your market and your spread for profit over the next 5 months. So anyway, and then we got November elections, which are, everything's behind that, right? So everything's somewhat artificially inflated, in my cynical view, of because of the elections coming up. So anyway, I will think, well, we'll know more in September with the rates and see what they do month over month. But for those that are having to reconsider pricing every month or every quarter, you're going to have to keep doing that. It's going to be a big deal as we go into the fall. Let's talk about what's going on across the state. We're still in August. I mean, it is kind of slow in some aspects, especially around state government. It's not slow in Columbia right now, but state government, Senate is coming back next week to take up the debate on abortion. That's the Senate. The House came in a few weeks ago. They're going to be having hearings for a couple of weeks, and then the House and the Senate are planning to come back in September. More to come on that, but expect lots of headlines, lots of protests, lots of noise. But there won't be any action really to discuss until September. Overall, though, by the way, on state budget's still coming in strong, and it's unbelievable how much money that we're all paying in taxes and accommodations taxes, beer, wine taxes, gas taxes. Everything's coming in stronger than even that we anticipated. So the next BEA meeting, I'll give you some good numbers there. That'll put you to sleep. I can even send you the report. Forget the NODOs. I'll send you a BEA report. That'll help everybody. But on more of a local issue as well, very interesting move by the Attorney General this week. The Attorney General had a press conference this week, asking for the governor to call for an inspector general to investigate Richland 1. If you remember, earlier this year, the governor, maybe 2 months ago, the governor requested an investigation into Richland 2. We'll have to see I have not seen a response by the governor's office after that press conference this week. So I'm sure he's doing his due diligence, but keep an eye out for that in the coming days. All right. Locally, interesting. We're seeing all these proliferation, and we talked about this last week, of hospitality and retail places around Columbia. Now's a good time because, as y'all know, students are back. Students are coming back to USC, the largest freshman class on record, the most diverse class they've ever had, which are all good if you have a dorm room and you can find a parking place. Other than that, we're all going to feel a little. It's so crazy to me. The first few weeks, everybody's back. The students are back. Nobody knows how to drive in Columbia. Traffic gets backed up everywhere. But then it settles out in September. I guess people decide they don't need to go in as early, or they got to go in earlier to fight the traffic. But it starts leveling out. But be on the lookout for, no offense to the folks from out of state, but you can always tell new people to Columbia, especially young drivers. So just be on the lookout and make sure, don't be afraid to walk a block, find a parking place a little bit away. It'll be easier for you. So students are back. We're seeing some more restaurants popping up, and some sad news of people closing. There was an announcement this week. Rush's is closing the store due to lack of staffing. And then our beloved Wig is closing its doors sometime in October, which I've heard from several of y'all on here about. That really is a bad statement, but they are turning an old office building into a boutique hotel right across the street from the State House, directly across the street from the State House. And so that hotel, because of the construction and all they're doing work, the Wig is out. And but that's been a staple in Columbia for close to 2 decades. If you haven't been there, you still got time to check it off your list. They'll be open through October, but check out the Wig, and they've got an eclectic menu, but the food is really phenomenal. So check that out as well. All right, I'm gonna read up on something. What do we have right now? What are y'all looking at for your business, and what do we need to know at the chamber on how to support y'all? What are you seeing? What's going on? Coffee break, and then you can get a little jolt and feel talkative.
I just want to say good morning to everybody. I've been out for a little while, trying to jump back in and get back in the swing of things. I've missed you all. I see so many great things going on, and I look forward to kind of just moving on and jumping right in. So if there's anything I can do, need to catch up on, guys, let me know.
Good to see you, Jack. All right, what else is going on? Steve asked a question about driving. You know how I feel about driving. People that take liberties shouldn't be allowed to do so. So I'm probably not the best one to answer that question, Richard.
Maybe it was a rhetorical question, Carl.
Okay, maybe so. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. Hey, you may have mentioned this in the very beginning. I was a minute late getting on about the whole legislation that just passed or is in the process of passing as it relates to extended subsidies and business owners around health insurance. That's one that we felt like was coming, but was we didn't think they were going to take any benefits away from folks in an election year. But the fact that it took so long may be a glimmer into what the future may hold as well.
Yeah, let me tell you, the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is pretty broad, and I've dug in a little bit. I've gotten several different talking points. So if y'all want something out of that, let me know. I've got snippets of it, but obviously part of that had to do with climate and the reduction of gases over the next 10 to 20 years. Big piece of that, extending tax credits for alternative vehicles, et cetera. But then they delved into healthcare, pharma. They tackled, I mean, giving Medicare the ability to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies is significant. How that trickles down, though, is going to be very, very interesting to me, because when you have that big of a market pool that now is going to be paying less, it's like whack-a-mole. You knock it down someplace, it's going to pop back up somewhere else. And so where I think it's too early to tell. But that was a late night. I think everybody was kind of shocked over how that bill was passed. And by the way, that was a Senate. There is no way that doesn't get. I mean, the way that passed in the politics right now is interesting. So thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that interesting provisions in there. Anything specific that you want everybody to know about?
It's not a permanent.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's not a permanent extension on the health subsidies, which was one of the discussion points. It's only a 3-year extension.
It goes to 2025.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Just past the next election. Funny how that worked.
That's just a coincidence.
Carl, good morning.
Hey, Lynn.
Just wanted to remind everybody that the applications are now open for the Midlands Minority Business Accelerator Program. So if you go to the Chamber's website and go to Business Development, all of the information is there, and you can click on and see the applications. So if you know anybody, any minority, small women, veteran-owned businesses that you feel might be interested, I think they just posted the link. Please send them our way. We'll be glad to have them. We're looking for candidates at this time, so thank you. Also, Carl, I just wanted to say thank you for your congratulations for your recent award. You want to, did you get an award?
That list that they make up on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're moving on. Just kidding. I think they pick names out of a hat on rotation, whatever. Anyway. All right, what else? By the way, on the MMBA program, this is the second cohort. We had 8 members of the first cohort. They did a phenomenal job and really, really set the bar as it relates to this program. But what we're seeing in the payoff and investment in that program is already been realized with the growth of these companies and just get a little bit of structure. As much as we've had a difficult time over the last 10 years recruiting industry into Columbia, this is equally as important to invest in local companies that can continue to grow. And so if we can just see higher growth within these homegrown companies, we'll all be better off. And so anyway, thanks to Lynn and her help with that program. And we really are excited about year 2. So, all right, what else we got? There you went, Audra. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna have to call people out.
Hey, Carl.
Yes, sir.
I'll just give you a brief update.
That was on my list to talk about again. So please give us a quick DOT update.
Okay. Well, as you all may know, transportation infrastructure, road infrastructure got a lot of money from the state budget process at the legislature this past year. A lot of that money is one-time money dedicated to accelerating plans that we have to widen Interstate 26 between Columbia and Charleston. So we're already putting that money to use kind of in advance of actually receiving it. But we plan to soon open up another segment of 26 down towards Charleston near the Ridgeville area to widen that section to 3 lanes. Then we're going to be going back up to the Columbia area and start widening there for about 10 miles further down or east. So we'll be, widening 26 in one portion, in Columbia and another portion in the Charleston Low Country area until we kind of essentially meet in the middle. And we'll be also replacing the I-26, I-95 interchange with a brand new modernized interchange that can take on a whole lot of additional capacity, which that's a huge pinch point for us. And then the Carolina Crossroads, so Malfunction Junction project is underway around Colonial Life Boulevard, and will soon be, putting out for letting contracts for the 2 additional phases of that work, with a total of 5 phases going on. And we've applied for three competitive grants with US DOT to replace significant bridges along our interstate system. 2 sets of bridges in 95, 1 set of bridges on I-20 in Kershaw over the Wateree River. So things are moving.
Good. That's a lot of dollars spent, and we didn't have to even, just looking at the Carolina Crossroads, i.e. Malfunction Junction, is a huge project. So what I would, I'll say this, and you'll see ramping up, because full construction over the Cloverleaf at Colonial Drive is starting this month. So be on the lookout. Slow down when you see the orange cones. The orange cones are going to be the local symbol for Columbia for the next 10 years at least. So be careful around those guys and give them a little bit of space. But they really are going to enhance mobility going forward. And so it's a huge investment. So when you get caught in traffic, just take a deep breath and say, this is progress. And remind yourself that this is progress. Also, progress is being made as well. I'm looking at Adam here when I say this, but our city and county leaders are making progress on doing something with the rail lines downtown Columbia. So more to come there, but I hope to have good news in the coming months. But I know progress is being made. So Ted, thanks for the update. We're also going to include, we're going to have I think it's in a couple months, but I'm not sure. Susan and I were talking about this week, an update from DOT on the projects in and around Columbia, because for those of you that travel around downtown or along anywhere in the Midlands, we're going to see some significant challenges over the next 5 years. If it's Elmwood, if it's Blossom, 126, 26, 20, you name it, and hardscrabble for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever it has been. So for those, we'll keep you posted. We're going to try to figure out a way to update on a continuous basis what is happening, and try to give you a heads up on what kind of delays to expect around town. All right, thanks for that.
Carl, a lot of those projects are SCDOT projects. There are also
Yes.
a lot of projects that are being financed by the Richland County Penny for Transportation effort that we end up working some with the county to I guess help administer. And then of course the railroad project on Assembly Street, really I think the city is taking the lead on that. So there are several kind of local regional entities, COGS and so forth, that are involved in transportation planning. So a good bit's happening. I wish it could happen faster. We all wish it could happen faster, but we're going to try to phase these things so we're not going to be, you're not going to be driving through, tens of miles of, work zone at a time. So.
And most of the work on 26 and Malfunction Junction is going to be done at non-peak hours, which is very helpful. So thanks to DOT for working with everybody on that. The traffic count on 26 alone is, y'all wouldn't imagine. I mean, it's unbelievable how many cars and trucks pass every day. So thanks for that. All right, anybody else got anything? Yeah, hey, Joan.
Hey, how you doing, Carl? Thank you for all the information. I just want to give a shout out to SC Thrive's annual training this year. It's rotating all around the state. This year it's in Columbia, and Greenville. And we will have world-renowned Dr. Caroline Leaf as our keynote speaker. She's a cognitive neurologist that talks about rewiring your brain. And it's going to be a fascinating program. We have more than a dozen speakers. It's a 2-day event. You can sign up for any one of the speakers. There's networking going on with all kinds of nonprofits through the whole state. So we're real excited, and we want to invite all of you to this event. It is $100 both days. So thank you, Carl.
Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate the update, and thanks for joining us today. All right. Want to thank everybody that came out to Firefly Associates last night on our partner engagement. It was a nice evening out at the ballpark. No baseball last night in town, but it was a great facility. We appreciate them very much. Next week we are back there at Segra Park for our small business breakout next week. So check that out. We've got a bunch of people signed up. I think we got over 120, 130 people coming next week. So feel we can take more. So come on out if you got the time. And many more things are happening. So just keep checking. You get a weekly email from us. We try not to overdo it, but we do want to keep you informed of what's going on. Secondly, we got check our activities. Gala's coming up. You're going to get sick of me talking about this, but Gala's coming up October 6th at Junction 800 down in the Vista. And excited for my friend Craig Woolard and the Embers joining us for that event. So anyway, more to come. Check your inbox. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the cooler, wetter weather, but we need it. And we're going to be back here next Friday, same bat channel. So come join us. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you real soon.